Hello, you're welcome to IPMAN Today. Like you know, IPMAN Today is an advocacy program of IPMAN, and IPMAN is the acronym for the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria. Now, every week on IPMAN Today, we'll bring you the thoughts of IPMAN regarding issues in the oil and gas sector. We also bring you the thoughts of IPMAN and the thoughts of the president of IPMAN on how IPMAN intends to collaborate with the federal government to ensure policy implementation success within the oil and gas sector in Nigeria. Now, of course, you know that IPMAN Today begins always with the verdict, and from the verdict we move to oil and gas news, and from oil and gas news straight over to Marketer's Diary. Today on the verdict, what are we talking about? The president headlines today's edition of the verdict with his thoughts on how the government successfully puts an end completely to petroleum scarcity in Nigeria. And then from there we move over to oil and gas news. Now, sometime last week, Depot Chairman Forum under IPMAN led by Alhaji Yahya Al-Hassan asked the NMDPRA to pay outstanding debts of over 200 billion naira. If not, there might be severe consequences in the oil and gas sector. So what was their statement like? We'll be listening to that, and we'll be seeing much of that on Oil and Gas News. Right after Oil and Gas News, we'll be Marketer's Diary. My name remains Alpha Mokone. This is IPMAN Today. This is NTA Network. Right after this break, we'll be bringing to your screen the verdict with the president of IPMAN, Alhaji Abubakar Megandi Garima Shettima. Don't touch your remote. We'll be back shortly. Hello, you're welcome from that short break. Like I said, the president will be headlining today's conversation on IPMAN Today on this verdict, the segment we call the verdict. Of course, every week on IPMAN Today, on the verdict, we usually host the president of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria. His name is Alhaji Abubakar Megandi Garima Shettima. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So let's begin with the recent happenings that happened in the IPMAN subsector of Nigerian oil and gas sector. We understand that the IPMAN Depot Chairman Forum held a press conference sometime last week to address some issues affecting IPMAN. Do you want to throw more light on that press conference that they held?
Well, really, it's true. Our 21 depot chairmen come to Abuja in the respect of their outstanding money, which NMDPRA is owing them for almost getting to 1 year since the time of the removal of fuel subsidy. And they hold it in a way that there is no any chaos. They do it in a diplomatic way. They do press conference calling the attention of the authority of the NDPPRA, that is to pay them their money. And actually the authority to comply with their claim, and they have paid them the total sum of 10 billion naira. So they said very soon they will try as much as possible how they will pay them the remaining balance of money. So that's what happened. And actually, me, the president of the Independent Petroleum Marketers, I went a situation whereby the authority should try as much as possible and pay these marketers' debt, because by getting this money back to them, I know they will fully participate in making fuel available in the country, at the same time in participating fully to the Mr. President agenda on green energy. Because what I want people to understand, this money is marketers' money, marketers' contribution during the time of subsidy. It's not government money, but rather contributed money by the marketers so that to regularize the fuel price all over the country to have a uniform price rate.
Oh, okay, so the money actually belongs to the marketers, not federal government subvention? Or
no, it's not a subvention. It's a contribution by the various marketers in the whole country.
We just hope that this issue will come to an end soon, and we hope that the NMDPRA will take this initiative to clear up their outstanding debts. Mr. President, sir, let's talk about the issue of fuel scarcity that has been happening recently in Nigeria. How has IPMAN been handling this fuel scarcity?
Yes, sincerely speaking, immediately when we come to realize that there is a shortfall in fuel supply, we meet the authority concerned, NMPCL, And they inform us actually it's true they have a logistic problem. But this logistic problem, according to what they have said, already is being taken care. So they tell us to send our trucks for loading. And really, we have sent our trucks for loading and we have started loading. But you know, whenever there is any small gap in its distribution of fuel, it will show. It may take a small time before things normalize. But we are participating fully. We already tell all our marketers, anybody who has a ticket, outstanding ticket, he should go and load his ticket so that he will come and put it inside his filling station and start selling.
So the actual cause was the issue
Logistics.
of logistics.
Yeah.
But is there a time frame that you think this fuel scarcity will finally subside and Nigerians will begin to get fuel easily in filling stations?
Well, even the time when we are making this program, I'm just from Lagos to check the way distribution is all about. I went to Lagos and I have seen there are some improvement in terms of distribution. So very soon, I cannot specifically tell you the time, but it will not take a long time.
Okay. So there's no particular time, but we are certain that in the nearest few days,
yes,
it will finally resolve.
Definitely.
Okay, sir. We're still talking about the fuel scarcity. How do you think government can solve this issue of fuel scarcity in Nigeria once and for all?
Well, you know, it's just what we have been always talking about. Even though we thank God Dangote refinery has started operation, like diesel now, you know, there is a time when the diesel caught all over the country.
Yes.
But now, due to the coming of Dangote refinery, you can see there is availability of diesel all over. So the same thing with the petrol, that is PMS. So if he started producing PMS, I know it will be the same thing. It will be available. So let the government encourage those people who has interest in developing refinery. Like even the government refinery like Wari, Port Harcourt, Kaduna refinery. Let the government try as much as possible and give it to the independent petroleum marketers or other marketers that can be able to bring it into function. Because, you know, when we are producing inside our country, there is no issue of scarcity again.
But does IPMAN also have any plans to support such initiatives of curtailing fuel scarcity through probably the building of refineries?
Yes, we are on it because presently we are liaising with the Minister of Gas, Minister of Petrol, and we are liaising with him so that we can be able to develop a modular refinery. We two independent marketers, we have that intention in our mind. We have already secured land, so we are still on it. We are just waiting our foreign partners to see how we can be able to participate and start development.
Okay, that's interesting. So that means that by the time IPMAN builds our own refinery, we will see that there will be collaboration between IPMAN and the federal government to stop fuel scarcity.
Yes, quite all right. It's true.
Will that also bring down the price of fuel in the nearest future if IPMAN eventually goes into such projects?
You know, there is one thing. Whenever there is availability, then you will see the price will start coming down. Yes. So whenever the product is available, the price will come down. And that is what we are aiming. Because this cost of the product, the PMS, we two independent petroleum marketers, we are not happy on it because most of our filling station will sell the product to our relatives. So we want the price to come down so that at least the masses will enjoy the benefit. And the federal government, or I will say the President Tinubu, has already made a very good program on the way masses will enjoy the benefit behind the removal of fuel subsidy. Just like this green energy that was being introduced, actually is a welcome development in the country. And we too, as an independent petroleum marketers, we inform all our marketers, especially those who are well-to-do in each and every state, to try as much as possible and construct a daughter filling station for CNG. So we are on it. And there are so many marketers that show interest. So actually, we are going to encourage them to see that they have developed the program.
So that means, like you are trying to say now, by the time IPMAN collaborates fully with the federal government in the introduction of CNG, there will be massive reduction of fuel scarcity.
Yes, definitely, because, you know, the demand on the PMS will come down, whereby most of the motorists will prefer to buy CNG because it's cheaper and it's cleaner.
Yes.
It doesn't have any environmental hazard.
Yes.
So actually, by the time we participate fully on that, I know the price of PMS too, if there is no much demand, it will come down.
Yes, you're right, sir. But sir, let's go back a bit to fuel scarcity, sir. Because, this is IPMAN today, and you are the president of IPMAN. Whatever you say is final as a president. Of course, there's only one president, I'm sure you know that, of IPMAN. Recently, sir, during the advent of this recent fuel scarcity, we noticed that, or some Nigerians noticed that, some fuel stations increased their price a bit. What was the cause for that, sir?
It's just because of the product is not available. And, immediately when the product is not available, that is PMS is not available, some Nigerians will take an advantage to see that they increase the price, which is not supposed to be like that. So, but the only thing that we can say, let this product be available. When it is available, you will see the price will start coming down.
So, of course, the president is mandating and calling for availability of PMS products in Nigeria, also through the renovation, the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt refineries, Warri refineries, in fact, all the refineries in Nigeria. And the president also believes that the IPMAN upcoming refinery will be coming soon, will also solve the issue of perennial fuel scarcity in Nigeria. Mr. President, sir, before we round up the show, do you have any other words to say before we move over to oil and gas news?
Well, just what I will say to our marketers and Nigerians in general, let's exercise patience on the situation that we are inside now. I know very soon all this thing will go away. And let's support the present government because the government is working. Actually, we are happy with the government, the way they have been doing their things, especially in terms of fuel distribution. I know since we have started this thing, you see, I think it's only during this time, since the time when President Tinubu come to power, it's only during this time we have a small cutoff, and this thing already has been taken care. So I will call the attention of our buyers, that is, they should not be doing panic buying. They should just try and concentrate, and those who are holding the product, whatever the case may be, either through the jerrycans, please let them stop it. Let us be patriotic Nigerians so that we can assist our government. Nigeria is our country. We doesn't have any country.
That is the verdict. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
In fact, just like the meaning says, the verdict is the final statement from IPMAN, and that is the final statement from the president of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Alhaji Abubakar Migani Garima. Thank you so much, sir, for finding time to be with us today.
Thank you.
So the IPMAN today, as the TV show continues right after this short break. Now, on oil and gas news, we're also bringing you some snippets of the press conference held by the IPMAN Depot Chairman Forum just a few days ago in Abuja, and what their mandate was. What are they calling the government to do? Right after that will be Marketers Diary. I'm sure you're still wondering what will be on Marketers Diary today. This is IPMAN today. We just had a conversation with our president. We'll be back right after this short break. Please don't touch your remote. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria Depot Chairman Forum have decried the negligence of the NMDPRA in offsetting the over 200 billion naira owed to our members. This was contained at a press briefing convened by the Alhaji Yahya Al-Hassan-led Depot Chairman Forum. Alhaji Yahya Al-Hassan, chairman of the Depot Chairman Forum, called on the federal government of Nigeria to intervene swiftly in this quagmire.
We came together with 21 depots in the whole Nigeria. We came together and met at Abuja because of NMDPRA owed our money about 200 billion naira, and he refused to pay us. And this money belongs to IPMAN. It's not belong to federal government. As a result of that, we want the federal government to intervene between we and NDPRA, Farouk Ahmed, to tell him to pay our money, because every marketers who are buying fuel from NNPC, the money of transport is included. As a result of that, and he refused to give all our money. That's why chairmen of 21 depots will hold meeting that the federal government will intervene between we and him. And it's a promise that 40 days interval has Minister of State Petroleum promised us that it should between 40 days he should pay our money. And that's why, and he refused to pay our money because that 40 days has lapsed. So that's why we call that conference.
That will be all on oil and gas news. Hello, you're welcome back from that short break. This is still IPMAN Today. This is still Marketer's Diary. I'm sure you're wondering, why are we seated in an office today on Marketer's Diary? Because of course, we usually go to the field to do Marketer's Diary. But right after now, we'll go to the field and do a short talk. But guess what? I'm with one prolific guest today on Marketer's Diary. You're welcome, sir, to Marketer's Diary.
Thank you so much, Mr. Frank.
Thank you,
it's
sir.
a pleasure meeting you today.
You know, people are just wondering. They know we usually go to the field to do Marketer's Diary, but today we are seated in an office.
Okay.
And they're wondering, who is this man? Why are we with this young man today in this office? So I'd like them to meet you, sir. What are your
Okay,
names,
thank you so much. My name is Sabiu Saidu Mahuta, Executive Director, Business Development of Eradicate Group. Thank you.
Now you heard his name. Executive Director of Business Development, Eradicate Group. Now that is why we're seated in the office. But of course, he will take us into the field shortly because he is also one of those field masters in Eradicate. So let's begin with this. What is the vision of Eradicate? Because people are wondering, it's a big group.
Yes.
What is the vision behind this establishment of this big group?
Okay, you know, vision is nothing but a target. Okay. In Iran, our target is to be the leader in the Nigerian and sub-Saharan African oil and gas industry. That is our target. We want to be the leader, not only in Nigeria, but in the whole sub-Saharan African oil and gas. Of course, to be the leader in Africa, we have to lead in Nigeria. We set some core values for ourselves. And those core values are the characters and characteristics, if I may say, that every step of this group understands and live by them. One of them is safety. Safety is our core value number one. The second is integrity. Integrity. The third is professionalism. Professionalism. The fourth is commitment. The fifth is ownership. And the last and the sixth is teamwork. So these are the traits that every step of Eradicate has already imbibed and also made them to be part of him. So that is what we live, and that is what we behave, and that is what we practice in everything that we do in this business. Oil and gas business is just about safety. Yes. It's hazardous business. You are dealing with a product that is flammable. Yes. So if you are not concerned about safety, you will not only lose the investment, you lose the most important asset, that is the staff, and of course the customers who are every day in the station doing their business or buying the product. And the CEO, the promoter of Eradicate Nigeria Limited is one person that even his I don't want to say enemies because he doesn't have any enemy. Yes. Even those that don't like him will tell you that when you are talking of integrity, if you meet Alhaji Awalurano, then you have to just go back home. You don't need to go further looking for another person.
That is amazing, sir.
Yes, sir.
I understand that a supervisor and the manager of this station, now this is Eradicate Citygate, they will be joining us in the field. So Alhaji, I think let's take a walk today.
Okay, my brother. It's a pleasure. Let's go and see what you
do. I'm sure you're wondering what we're going to now. This is still Eradicate. This is still Marketer's Diary. Let's go, sir. Please. Okay, let's go. Hello, you're welcome now. This is still Marketer's Diary. This is still Eradicate Citygate Station Outlet. And of course, I'm still with the business development. That's the ED business development of Eradicate. Thank you so much, sir, for finding time to come out with us to do this tour.
Thank you, my brother.
And of course, we are joined with the ED, two wonderful chaps here. Can we meet you, sir, please?
My name is Aliu Idris, branch manager.
Okay, now this Aliu Idris is the branch manager of Eradicate Citygate Outlet, and just by the right of the ED business development manager, I have.
My name is Hussein Mohammed Yakbi. I'm in the supervisor police station, Eradicate.
Okay, now I have the manager here, I have the supervisor, and I have the boss of all bosses, the ED himself. Please, I'd like them to meet you once again, sir.
Thank you so much. I am Sabiu Saidu Mahuta, Executive Director, Business Development of AA Rano Group.
Now, we're talking about the safety standards of AA Rano. And you were just telling me that they have certain procedures in place. Can you explain to our viewers what are those procedures in place that takes care of the clients when they come here to buy fuel? What are those safety procedures, sir?
Okay, like I told you earlier, we not only value safety, we don't compromise safety. We see safety as everything. In our core value, safety is number one. And if you go to all our stations, you will see that safety is everything and is our priority. Not only priority, utmost priority. You can see by yourself in this station, you will see a lot of fire extinguishers. The industrial one, they are strategically located. You can see right from the spacing of our canopy and the forms, you see that we leave a lot of enough space for traffic to move smoothly without any hindrance, without any challenge. And you will see that all the staff are very conscious about safety. There are so many things that one cannot do around the station, and everybody is aware of it. You will see strategically we have fixed safety notices around the station, and this is not only here, it is applied in all our stations nationwide.
Wow, that's amazing. Safety is the core value, not just profit. Safety is the number one core value.
We have muster point. When there is fire or anything that is alarming, staff know how to strategically move to the muster point and gather themselves.
So when you say muster point, some people are still wondering, sir. Can you explain in details what a muster point is?
Okay, a muster point is a location where every staff is aware of in case of fire outbreak or any hazard that could happen. Every step is expected to move to move strategically and carefully to the muster point, where we do the head count and ensure that everybody is safe among our staff. Nobody is trapped inside. Then from there, evacuation will start.
This is brilliant, and I've learned something today about the muster points, and I think I've seen this muster point in all your stations.
Yes.
And yes, it's a standard.
Yes, it's a standard. It's a standard. It's a regulatory standard, and in AA, like I said, we don't compromise with safety.
So what are you saying now to people that are watching this show right now and they are thinking, where is the best fuel station to get fuel? What is going through your mind, sir?
Well, you know, without mixing words, I will tell you AA Rano. Okay. It's not only about the safety, it's about everything. Look, in our vision, we want to be the customer's preferred choice in sub-Saharan Africa. Yes. Anybody who thinks of fueling...
Sorry, the customer's preferred
choice in sub-Saharan Africa, not only Nigeria. In Nigeria, I don't want to beat my chest, but I will say we are already there and we are moving. Very soon we capture the Africa. That is mean full attainment of our vision. So I want to assure you that anybody who wants fuel in Nigeria today, AA Rano is the first choice. The second choice is others. So it's only AA Rano and others.
AA Rano and others. Mr. Edie, thank you so much for finding time to hang out with us here on IPMAN today on Marketer's Diary. You've heard all he had to say. They are not just concerned about profit, they are also concerned about your safety. Safety is number one for AA Rano and the millions of customers all over the world. They're also looking at taking over Africa, and I don't know. Maybe you are thinking you want to take over Africa, you want to contest with AA Rano. It's your choice. You can try it. I hate to do this. Like, you know, I always don't like to do this, but I have to do this. It's the end of the show today on IPMAN Today. You've heard them. They don't compromise. The same thing, NTA Network doesn't compromise. IPMAN Today, we don't compromise. It's been an exciting time hanging out with the ED himself. And, of course, you watched the verdict with the president. He talked about how to curtail the issues of fuel scarcity in Nigeria. I'm sure you learned a lot from there. I'm sure you saw and you heard, of course, what IPMAN marketers are trying to do to ensure that they work with the federal government in Nigeria to put a stop to fuel scarcity in Nigeria. That is priority on the mind of our president, Alhaji Abubakar Megandi Garima Shettima. You know, there's only one president of IPMAN, and that I just mentioned his name. Right after that, you saw oil and gas news, and after oil and gas news, you've seen we just did Marketer's Diary with the ED of AA Rano, Alhaji Sabiu Mahuta. You want to join us again same time next week on IPMAN Today. My name remains Afamokone. Keep watching. Don't touch your remote. Don't touch your remote. NTA Network continues with the Sublime broadcast. Until I come your way again same time next week, keep watching IPMAN Today. Keep watching NTA Network.